Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, UFC 292 is just a few short hours away from beginning, and while we are all patiently waiting, I thought we might have a little bit of fun at Logan Paul's expense because Dillon Danis has scraped and clawed his way back into the hearts of a lot of combat sports fans. Now, not because of anything combat sports related, mind you, okay? Dude hasn't fought in MMA since 2019. He hasn't had a jiu-jitsu match since 2017, and while he gets touted out as being this incredible jiu-jitsu athlete, at which one point he was, his record is 18-16, okay? So it's nothing to do with combat sports, but Dillon Danis has found his new calling, perhaps his new profession, in being the world's best internet troll. Okay, Nina Agdal, I think I pronounced that correctly, is a Danish model and Logan Paul's newly ringed fiance. Okay, she's 31 years old and she has more bodies than a goddamn McDonald's slaughterhouse, and Dillon Danis has done an extremely good job exposing this. Now, I was gonna go and take screenshots of every single guy that she's been with, all of the worst photos that he has posted online to Twitter, but that was a lot of effort, so I figured I would just play the slideshow that he created for you guys because it's very effective in getting the point across. Now,
my girl is not an object. She is a real life human being, not a girl who gets passed around to the dude with more ball percentage. Girl is not an object.
Logan Paul is clearly embarrassed by this, okay? Allegedly, pardon me, sending Dillon Danis a cease and desist letter, threatening to call off the fight if he doesn't stop. And the cease and desist letter on the guise of harassment, which is insane to me because, first of all, Logan, why would you don't wife up a chick like this? You know what I mean? If you're so embarrassed by the countless bodies she has, why would you put a ring on it? But not just that, these are all public photos of which she must have posted a lot of them herself, or the men that she's been with had posted them herself. They're available to the public. They're on the Twitter. You know what I mean? So I don't know how this can be considered harassment when all Dillon Danis is doing is sharing photos that are already on the internet. Now, look, ladies like this with this many escapades, okay, will be extremely hard to keep pleased and content. It's hilarious that she's now 31 years old and decides that she wants to settle down with an unbelievably wealthy 28-year-old who is apparently still naive as fucking all get out, okay? Look, some dudes don't care about this kind of shit. Very select few. And then other dudes suppress the fact that they actually do care about it until they've destroyed their brains enough that they truly don't care about it, and it's all over being virtuous and non-judgmental, and they just bury that shit down. There is a good reason for men to be disgusted at this sort of thing, okay? I don't want to go on some red pill rant, but this is one thing that I actually do kind of agree with. It's not even that the disgust factor doesn't even come really from the fact that she's been with a whole platoon of men, okay? It comes from all of the character flaws that would lead you to a point to be with a whole platoon of men, okay? Lack of self-control, right? Impulsiveness, okay? And lack of self-respect. There's tons of negative attributes that would go along with this, which don't necessarily make you conducive to being a wife, okay? But Logan Paul can't see this, apparently, which is insane. Logan Paul's just a couple of steps away from getting a face tattoo and joining his new best friends, long lost brothers, Sean O'Malley and Adam 22, okay, and letting his wife have a go at a guy like this, okay, which would be kind of hilarious, just because it's Logan Paul, who really gives a shit. But Dillon Danis, something else that he made I thought was pretty funny. He made a Pokemon card. Now, for those of you who don't know, am a little bit of a nerd, okay? And not just that, I've got two young boys, so Pokemon has stayed steady in this household for the last, 10 years, essentially. And not just that, obviously, was a decently big part of my childhood. So I know a little bit more about Pokemon than I would care to admit. So, while his card was funny and got the point across, to me it lacked effort. So I made my own, and I think it is way fucking better. So I'm going to show that to you guys also. And by the way, both of those moves that I gave the Pokemon Logopy are actual Pokemon moves. I literally Googled, fairy type moves and tried to find the ones most fitting for this situation. So I made that, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Anyways, dude, this is why I'm so fucking glad I locked up a chick when I was 16 and she was 16 too. Like, I don't gotta worry about walking into a goddamn room and having every guy in there having had a turn at her. Do you know what I mean, dude? Like, Logan Paul is 28 years old with more money than fucking God, could seemingly have his pick of the litter, and he picks a chick that everybody else has already had. Like, it's insane to me. And then the dude wants to be a complete and total glass fucking cannon when it comes to social media, because he's got no problem shit talking other people on social media. But every time somebody wants to go have a go at him, pardon me, it's an issue. Okay, the dude is an actual piece of shit. I don't know if he's a sociopath because I'm not a fucking psychiatrist. I am a judge, but I'm not a psychiatrist. And he just seems like he could potentially be a sociopath, right? There was the recent shit with his brother Jake Paul, which who knows, maybe that was played up a little bit for the cameras or what have you, but it seems like Jake Paul is legitimately frustrated by the actions of his brother and the way that he acts and tries to manipulate Jake into thinking that, they're brothers, so he needs to do stuff for Logan. But then when it's the other way around, it's just simply business. But not just that, the dude's been exposed by multiple massive YouTubers, okay? Not just by CoffeeZilla, who exposed him for scamming his fans and has done multiple videos on him, I'm pretty sure, because Logan Paul said that he was going to pay everybody back and then didn't. So CoffeeZilla is not going to let that shit go. But also, a guy that a lot of you might be familiar with, More Plate, fucking hell, dude, Derek for More Plates, More Dates, has exposed Prime Hydration in more than one video, because the way that it is marketed is a complete and total scam. The way that, you got guys like Alexander Volkanovsky and Israel Adesanya promoting it as if they actually drink the shit, even though when it comes to hydration, it is not. Even though it's in the fucking name, do you know what I mean? So, not something that pro athletes should be drinking when they're actually trying to get rehydrated. Maybe just because it tastes good, but other than that, nah. And this is kind of subjective, but there are certain. My dad always used to say this thing, and it was funny. And the lesson behind it is basically that girls that are really fucking hot can get away with a little bit more. So he would say, I wouldn't kick her out of the bed for eating crackers. Logan Paul's girlfriend on the other, or fiance, pardon me, on the other hand, right? You would think if you're gonna get with a chick who's got more bodies than a slaughterhouse, she would at least be an absolute 10. Now, again, it is subjective, but in my opinion, dude, I would kick this chick to the curb so fast, she would confuse me for Leonardo DiCaprio on her 25th birthday. Okay, if she was eating, like, you know what I mean? She's got a jawline like fucking Hercules. I don't see it. Maybe I'm crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Again, it's subjective. If you think she's good looking, that's totally fine, but I'm not really seeing it, okay? It is funny. He clearly does care. Otherwise, this wouldn't be an issue. He would just let it go. I just don't understand how pictures that have been posted online and are available to the public can get you a cease and desist letter from harassment. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's insane to me. And this is coming from a guy that fucked his brother's girlfriend while they were together, I'm pretty sure. Do you know what I mean? I've got a younger brother, man. We're further apart in age from these two, which I would imagine would only make you closer. If his hypothetical girlfriend tried to come on to me, that bitch would catch a head kick so goddamn fast, she wouldn't know what hit her. Okay? understand how this absolute human piece of shit, yes, he's very wealthy, I understand, very successful, all that good stuff. He's a dirtbag, okay? It is what it is. He also, yeah, I don't fucking like the guy, man. And it's not out of jealousy, which is what Logan Paul fans will come in here and say, I'm very content and happy with my life, okay? He's clearly not. Otherwise, the cease and desist letter would not have been sent. He would have been like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Look at me. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, man. But what's even funnier to me is he's probably been suppressing these emotions, just hoping that nobody has a reason to bring them up. And then the guy has literally no foresight. You sign a boxing match with a guy who has only been relevant in the past few years for being a fucking troll. And Dillon Danis just goes, yeah, watch this, dude. And fucks his whole world up. Just completely ruins his life. You know what I mean? But I will say this: Dillon Danis essentially is offering Logan Paul a lifeline. Do you know what I mean? If Logan Paul wasn't aware of this, which I'm sure he had to be, and it's not even just the guys in the slideshow. She's been with dudes like Dan Bilzerian. You know what I mean? Who's famous for being with thousands of women. You know, so she could be bringing home some shit as well, Logan. You better check that out. But he's offering him a bit of a lifeline here. You know, he has a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if in a year's time he called off the engagement, and it would be, you know, he would wait long enough after the boxing match to kind of obfuscate from the fact that this was why he decided to ultimately call it off. But this would be the reason why, okay? But honestly, I kind of hope he doesn't, and I hope he's stuck with her forever because he's a clown, okay? And that's the kind of chick that a clown deserves. So credit to Dillon Danis for exposing an absolute whore and being the world's best troll of all fucking time. I just can't understand how a guy with the pick of the litter would pick a chick that everybody's been with and then be upset when people find out that she's been with everybody, even though all of these photos have been posted online by her or the other guy. Do you know what I mean? So, anyways, dude, this has been us poking fun at Logan Paul, joining in on the bully beatdown that Dillon Danis has dished out to him. Like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you at the next video tomorrow morning to recap UFC 292. Goodbye.